Lucky you, it's Quiplash 3. 5.99 a minute. I'm your host, Schmitty, and you're now all my best friends. Don't look now, but it's round one. You'll get 2 prompts on your device to answer any way you please. You'll go head to head with another player's response, and everyone else votes on their favorite. Sound easy? That's because it is. You get points based on the percentage of people who choose your answer. Off we go. There's seconds left. Use a safety quip if you have to. Writing time is over. It's go time. First, but not necessarily best, is... No, the house isn't haunted. The moaning you hear at night is just blank. Vote away. Next, the greatest thing in the world to auto-tune. Here's the fun part. Pick your favorite quip. Next one up, a better use for Rapunzel's hair. And now pick your favorite. Next we have the real reason you're not going to the party tonight. Time to pick the one you like best. Let's keep it going. Mother called you a toddler tyrant when you blank. That's what we call a gimme. Next up, a great name for a superhero who can communicate with cats. Okay, everybody, pick your favorite quip. Next on the docket, your last thought before passing into the afterlife. Okay, choose your favorite. Round one is in the books. Let's see how the scoring shakes out. I see round two in your future, where points will be doubled and stakes will be higher. Time's winding down. Use a safety quip if you have to. Okay, let's see them. And we start with, it's a slow morning when blank is trending on Twitter. Okay, choose away. And now, a reality show nobody would miss, The Masked Blank. Decisions, decisions. Choose your favorite. All right, check this out. You have to defeat this player in gladiatorial combat. What weapon do you choose? And now it's time to vote for your favorite. And next is named for a truly insufferable morning radio show. All right, people, it's voting time. Moving right along. Your spouse is keeping a terrible secret. Their blank isn't real. All right, vote for the one you like best. Without further ado, advice this player would get from a financial planner. You spend too much on blank. All right, choose your favorite. Okay, what's next? the name of the subreddit that only has one follower, r/blank. Now it gets real. Pick your favorite. Round two is through. Let's see how things shook out. Come inside and behold Thriplash, a no-holds-barred quipaganza. You'll each receive a prompt that requires 3 separate responses. Make me proud. And since we have an odd number of players, you'll be squaring off against me. Technology, right? Just a few seconds left. Okay, I'm ready if you are. 3 things that usually only happen after 3 a.m. Time to pick the one you like best. Oh man, I thought I had that one. Follow these 3 survival tips if you're lost in the wild. Decisions, decisions. Choose your favorite. Three things you would say to a wolf disguised as your grandma. All right, vote for the one you like best. Three extracurricular activities at a really, really, really rich high school. And now pick your favorite. Nothing to do now but see those final scores.
Welcome to the Scrolliseum. These talented trainers are about to face off to see who's the best at creating champion characters with unusual skills. Will the underdogs take down the heavy favorites? It's time to get champed up! In this first step, the trainers will be prompted to draw and name a particular type of champion character. They'll be equipped with two tools, a pen for drawing and a thick marker for coloring in. Once a character is drawn and named, it can be submitted. The timer's been set. Off we go. 20 seconds remain. Players need to name their character. The trainers are now moving on to "20-second warning. Name those characters." It's time for the main event. Here comes our first Brave Warrior. And in this corner, we've got... These two will battle to see who is the champion of good times. Oh, they're pulling away now. Some extra cash goes to the underdog. More like best times. In this corner, we've got... They'll be facing off against... We'll decide once and for all who is the champion of Imagination Land. The kid gloves are off now. Hey, so long, reality! Now entering the ring. And opposing them will be... One of them will be crowned the champion of Making a Scene. This is what happens when an immovable object meets an unstoppable force. Take a bow. Next up, it'll be versus... These two are facing off to see who is the champion of comfort. Now this is a duel. back and forth they go. Let's get ready to snuggle. Moving on, we've got versus. One of them will walk out as the champion of dummies. It's a scroll brawl. Winning for dummies. Make way for versus. Only one of them can be the champion of the parallel universe. That'll leave a mark. This might be over. Glad we're not on this timeline. Here's our next competitor. Versus. These two are competing to be the champion of Mondays. The pen is fightier. We're watching a scribble quibble. I mean, ugh! Am I right? Here are the scores as we head into halftime. "20-second warning, name those characters." It's time to name those characters. It's the second half, which means let's start things off with our first two fighters. One of them will be the champion of Suspect Number 1. It's the Clash of the Titans. What a whack attack! It's not over yet. Here's the next title up for grabs. The champion of their only crime was loving too much. Will the trainers keep their characters or swap out? I would hate to be on the receiving end of that blow. And the cheese stands alone. Two new fighters enter the ring. Who is the champion of the apocalypse? Oh, it's too close to call. Oh, what a huge blow. Can they counter? We'll declare a winner after this next match. The champion of Progressive Childcare. The trainers have a decision to make. Talk about a character assassination. Bam! Right in the face. What a stud! Here's our next matchup. You will decide who is the champion of Heartthrobs. That was below the belt. Welcome to Slamtown. This next contest could swing things. The champion of the Airheads. Will the players tag out? Let's find out. Here come the reinforcements. It's a Dramageddon. What a dominating performance. What a Herculean effort! It's time for our next bout. One of them will be the champion of Goofballs. Can they build on this momentum? Well, no other way to say it, it's a bloodbath. It all comes down to this next match. The champion of future world leaders. What will the trainers do? Let's see. Ouch. Wave the white flag. This one appears to be over. I dare you to name a more iconic duo. Here are the next two fighters. Who is the champion of being majestic? It's a close one. Oh dear, look away! Look away! Now they'll be battling for this title. the champion of the endangered species list. Holy smokes, it's decision time. Here come the reinforcements. We're witnessing an absolute thrashing. There's no I in team, kids, only in kids. Moving on. You will decide who is the champion of CEOs. The scales are beginning to tip. Here's the next contest. The champion of Secret Aliens. It's a whole new fight. Holy smokes, I didn't see that coming. We're witnessing an absolute thrashing. Is that all she wrote? Now that there is teamwork, folks. Up next, one of them will be the champion of romantic fantasies. This is getting interesting. Now it's time to determine the champion of job interviews. They're tagging out. What will the trainers do? They got him on the ropes. A solo victory! What a feat! Okay, folks, that was the final match. The judges are tallying the final scores, and we have a winner! Welcome to the Scrollaceum. These talented trainers are about to face off to see who's the best at creating champion characters with unusual skills. Will the underdogs take down the heavy favorites? It's time to get champed up! In this first step, It's time to name those characters. The trainers are now moving on to creating a challenger. These characters will be the underdog. "20 seconds remain. Players need to name their character." It's time for the main event. Here comes our first opponent. Versus... Well, you hate to see this. It's a forfeit. Overrated! Overrated! Up next. And in this corner, we've got... One of them will walk out as the champion of Neighbors. More like a world chump, I'm just saying. I just did a spit take. Some extra cash goes to the underdog. Howdy there! Up next, they'll be facing off against... These two will battle to see who is the champion of regret. It's neck and neck. It's a Dramageddon. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Up next. And opposing them will be... We'll decide once and for all who is the champion of this player's ultimate nemesis. Is that the nail in the coffin? fuel the feud. Up next, versus... one of them will be crowned the champion of being dirty. It's anyone's fight. This has become a one-sided match. To the victor go the Soils. Up next, versus... these two are facing off to see who is the champion of cuddling. They're trading punches. So soft, so warm. Up next, versus... well, you hate to see this, it's a forfeit. Reminds me of my dad. And that takes us to halftime. Here are the scores. Name those characters. Name those characters. It's the second half, which means it's time for the tag teams. Each matchup will include a surprise contest where players can tag out their characters. The bonus points are doubled and votes for both contests will... Moving on. Who is the champion of TikTok? This is what happens when an immovable object meets an unstoppable force. Here's the next title. The champion of who? It's decision time. Holy smokes, I didn't see that coming. They're tagging out. This one's just about over. The scales are beginning to tip. What a dynamic duo! Up next, you will decide who is the champion of hallucinations. This is getting drawn out. I would hate to be on the receiving end of that blow. It's not over yet. Here's the next title up for grabs. The champion of being cursed. Will the trainers keep their characters or swap out? Here come the reinforcements. The kid gloves are off now. They're going to the bench. This is getting interesting. Nothing can stop these two. Let's start things off with our first two fighters. Well, you hate to see this. It's a forfeit. This, folks, is what a hero looks like. Two new fighters enter the ring. One of them will be the champion of Grotesque. The tides are turning. We'll declare a winner after this next match. The champion being presented with search warrants. The trainers have a decision to make. It's a whole new fight. This is pure pandemonium. Can they build on this momentum? Ah, these two, they just work so well together. Here's our next matchup. Who is the champion of danger? That was below the belt. This next contest could swing things. The champion of losing custody. Will the players tag out? Let's find out. Here we go. Ah, the art of war. Their chemistry is off the charts. It's time for our next bout. One of them will be the champion of former child stars. It's the Clash of the Titans. The ref just needs to call it. It all comes down to this next match. The champion of hosting an infomercial for reverse mortgages. What will the trainers do? Let's see. This is pure pandemonium! Talk about a character assassination! A tag team for the ages! Here are the next two fighters. Well, you hate to see this, it's a forfeit. They did the work of two fighters. Okay, folks, that was the final match. The judges are tallying the final scores, and we have a winner!